5, 4, 3, 2, are you ready?
Welcome to Hardway Wrestling. It is Turnbuckle Tuesday. Ricky.
It's Taco Tuesday, damn it.
I mean, if you're LeBron James, it's Taco Tuesday, but it's not LeBron James.
I don't like LeBron James.
It's Ricky Walker and your man. I don't even. Somebody asked me what do I go by on here. I said I guess I go by Jason. I really don't use the Jonathan Cross thing on here because I feel like anytime I get into the Jonathan Cross mood, it's never good. It's never good for other people. I'm not very nice sometimes. So, but speaking of not being very nice, we have a special guest, Ricky. And I'm not talking about Mr. Puffers.
It is not Mr. Puffers today.
Who, by the way, you never see Mr. Puffers until the camera's on. Then he just jumps right up there. Loves the camera.
He
but
does.
Today we have one of my favorite guys, a guy I've been doing a lot of work with. He's kind of taken me under his wing with a lot of different things. And I owe this man a good bit of gratitude. And I'm done kissing his ass. AK, welcome to Hardway Wrestling. Finally.
What's up, guys?
Finally. The mercenary with the Midas touch.
For the record, this is my favorite guy from the House of Cross.
Okay. Well, yeah. This is your favorite guy. Wait a minute. Ethan Crawl, Travis Carvin.
I'm still waiting on my one-on. I'm still waiting for my one-on-one with Stone. But every time I show up at an ATCW event, he runs back to the back when he sees me.
No, he just forgot his wrist tape. That's all. He's not running from anybody. He's not scared of nobody.
That makes
Wrist
sense.
tape.
That makes sense.
Okay.
The last time you saw him, Ricky, he was put under the ring by Jesse Daniels.
That was hilarious. I'm
so
still waiting. I'm still waiting for the Whoop-Ow on that one.
That's coming. It'll make
Whoop-Ow of the year.
It'll make a Whoop-Ow video of the year, probably, most likely. So, AK, go ahead. We call you AK, but go ahead and tell everybody what your what's your shoot name? Do you tell many people? Do you go by AK in your real life?
So, younger years, I went by AK a lot. You know, I'm a professional life. I go by Aristotle, but mostly friends call me Ari. But you can call me AK.
It's easy.
Ari, I kind of like that. Aristotle. That is a badass name. Now, how did was your mom fucked up in the stars or something? Is that why we ended up with Aristotle? How did we end up with
that? In addition to a couple other things, but now father came from Greece, so Greek heritage. Definitely rep my country to the fullest.
Now wait a minute, you're Greek?
Yes, sir.
Weren't you trying to get off for Black History Month?
Actually, I was. I mixed enough on that list. I was like, man, I'm not black enough for the 500 list, but I got to, it's all good. It's all good. They don't take half breeds. They just take, you got to be full thoroughbred and shit. So It's all good.
So AK is can be a not a nice guy sometimes, and I think he likes it that way.
I think it's just more natural. I think people appreciate me more when they get my authentic self. So,
yeah, it really is. If you, a lot of people, I don't know how many people know AK like I know AK, but when AK is definitely he is who he is. It's funny how sometimes people play a character in wrestling and they're not really that character, but there's two guys on this screen right now that are absolutely almost 100% who they are in real life. So I got some photos, AK. I got some photos of some stuff that we've done here lately. I'm going to share with everybody. Here is first off, just AK. I mean, the guy's always got a belt. It's been a while since I've seen you with a belt in your hand.
I got one sitting right next to me, actually. No, but yeah, no, you're right. It's been since I want to say November since I've been deemed with a championship under my alias. So I don't have that bracket under my intro anymore. champion AK. It's just AK now.
Right, just AK. Yeah, you had a hell of a year last year. You held the TCW Heavyweight Championship. You held the Independent Cruiserweight Championship. What else did you hold? Other promotions?
Actually, I won the Herman Cup award. It was an 8-way cage match in Maryland, AWA. That was a pretty big one too. As far as gold, though, it's actually been a lighter year for gold. You know, in the past 5 years, I've won 13 in total. But last year was more focusing in on a little bit more character development in certain locations. I really wanted to establish more foundations, places. It wasn't just chasing the gold last year. It was more of introducing the audience more to the other layers of AK, right, which are pretty sick and pretty twisted.
Yeah, that's for sure. And honestly, I say it all the time. There's a couple guys that I came back into the business 3 years ago now, and I can't thank Chucky Mancy for bringing me back into the business. I was going for a very long time. Wasn't really in it long enough to say I was in the business anyway, but kind of got me back into the wrestling gig. And since working with AK, I have learned a tremendous amount and only missed 4 spots a match. So I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Now I'm finding, it's great. I get so nervous when we talk these matches over. And I know you said to me the other day, hey, pay attention. Everybody and their brother kept walking in front of me. It was pissing me off. And now I'm getting to the point where wrestlers are missing their spots, and I'm like, the fuck.
Well, I thought it was great for you to have that experience, though. I thought it was really cool for you to see, like, how things can happen in at the drop of a dime. The whole card got mixed up, and then, we're talking, hey, the show starts in, like, 10 minutes. Oh, wait, we have to rewrite your match, and you're on second. Here, introduce yourself to this guy. Put some work together. And again, shout-outs to Prince Machiavelli on that one. Definitely had a banger. And again, for the amount of time we had to put it together, it's just really good to work with good talent like that to come out with the results we did.
You guys got Vince backstage crumbling up your scripts and rewriting?
Well, because of the winter, because of the weather, we ran a show anyway. The weather was bad, and we had a couple of wrestlers not be able to show up. One guy was stuck in Florida, and this and that. So again, wrestling is, when they say card subject to change, it's legit. It is card subject to change. There's always going to be something. Somebody can't make it, or someone's car breaks down, which is the worst fucking excuse in the world. But it just drives me absolutely crazy when they
That's still work.
I hate that. It drives me nuts, especially when it happens 4 or 5 times in a row. Take it over. So
that's because hanging.
Crazy. But again, Mike did an amazing job of pulling that card together. And some stuff they wanted to do, they couldn't end up doing. They wanted to do a ladder match. I don't know what all the parameters were, why they couldn't do the ladder match, because I was in the back staring at Machiavelli trying to get my spots down. But Mike did a great job. So shout out to Mike for being able to pull that card off late notice like that. So. Anyway, here we got another picture here. Let's here's a good one. This is a good one. This one that AK just sent me. I actually just saw these photos a little bit ago. Didn't realize they were posted. I don't know who's got a better tan, me or you.
Well, what's messed up about what you're doing right now is that maybe I'm just like, I suck with technology, but I don't see a damn thing that you're displaying on the screen. So I'm just like going off your word on what we look like.
Oh yeah, you're watching it, and people are watching it. They can see that we're standing in the middle of the ring, and I'm holding your wrist high above your head because we are winners. AK, that's who we are. We are winners. Another photo. This was one of you. Is
that a chandelier in the background?
That was a chandelier. Yeah, well, we did it in someone's dining room. So we will work anywhere. I mean, we work anywhere. So
actually, that was a pretty dope venue. Counting House in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Definitely love the setup. Beautiful setup. And the thing about the dedication of those fans, they sold out before the show with the weather and everything, and having to go up the mountain. You wouldn't expect a good turnout, but man, those people showed up, and hell of energy too, man. Definitely a great night up there.
I saw maybe 4 empty chairs,
Yeah, I think so.
For whatever reason, and that place was sold out. So that's awesome. All right,
Nice.
This picture here is just some of the stuff that AK and I have been together over the last couple months at ATCW and Voltage, and I don't know what the other one is. Maybe that's TC. Is that TCW? I can't tell. Anyway, and then this one is one of my favorites. This is AK getting ready to be dumped on his head by Grim, as he is on Grim's shoulders, and Grim is holding Facade, and AK is about to die right here. And when AK landed, I thought for sure that he was dead. So this was.
I'll say, you can look at my face and see like, oh shit, we're going for a ride, baby.
Another two great opponents. If you've not seen Grim or Facade, these guys are awesome. Facade, the Neon Ninja. This guy, you ever see the luchadors that run the ropes and do? This guy does it. Like, this guy's really good.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
we love these guys. Well, we don't really love these guys, but you know, in this I mean, they're okay. I guess they're okay.
I got a little bit of history of Grim over the years. We've won tag titles before in Maryland. We squared off at the Cannabis Festival a couple years ago at the RFK, and you know, we fought all over the place. But Facade, on the other hand, it was my first time working with him earlier this year, and man, what a talent! That dude, definitely. If you haven't seen his work before, definitely go check him out. And then to close out the year, to work with both of those guys. Again, 2023 was a special year for me, man. Like I really got to hit the road a lot more. I opened myself up. I think we tallied at 48 matches for the year. So again, just keeping in the ring every weekend, keeping the books filled, getting out there. You know, so again, to close out the year with those two guys, definitely will make it memorable forever.
Yeah, that was for the Voltage Lightning. Is that the Voltage Lightning title? Is that what it was?
Slam title.
Okay, yeah. Would have been a pretty awesome feat for us to roll out of there with that title, but it didn't really. I mean, whatever, it didn't really work out for us. You can hit it.
Hey, look,
don't stay down.
Look, it was the one of, I want to say 6 losses I've taken the whole year. So again, to put over those kind of guys, you know, it's just an honor to be in the ring with both of them, for real.
I heard that. Well, what I hear right there is that you're a good politicker. Only 6 losses.
Who's listening?
We don't lose around here, okay? We don't lose around here, so.
No. I'm a sore loser for sure.
Yeah. We were. There were children crying in the background when we lost. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Somebody's kid. Anyway. Not mine. Mine's probably good.
So, real quick, we'll get on to the stories here, but real quick, we did a spot there where Grim does his over the top, or what's he call that?
It's called, like, for me, I always think of the taker dive, you know, but yeah, just a top rope dive.
So we talked about it in the back. Behind the curtain, we talked about it in the back where AK and I were going to take Grim. Grim was supposed to dive over the top rope and land on both of us. I've never taken anything like that before. Never did anything like that. AK said, "You're fine. Just roll backwards." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I trust you. I'm going to die." And so Grim is kind of like getting to his feet, here comes Facade. He comes around the other side and grabs my arm, and I said, "What the fuck you doing?" He goes, just hold tight. I was like, "Wait a minute, I was supposed to be on the outside." And he goes, "Not today." And I was like, "I am gonna die." So Grim dives over to Grim. I don't know if you could hear that, AK, with me and Facade. Like 3-second conversation, everything completely changed. So Grim dives over the top ropes, and his ass completely hits me in the fucking mouth. Drops me. Hits AK. You got kneed or elbowed in the face, right?
Yeah, I thought some type of little.
It might have been me flailing and hit you. I
don't know. It probably was you. I gotta watch that footage back. I'm pretty sure you might have just fucking thrown an elbow or something.
Yeah, I turned baby there for a second. I mean baby as in I was there crying. But when I laid on the floor, people were like, "Oh my god," and I was like, "All right, just keep selling it." Well, you can't get up anyway because you really are hurting. So that was a pretty cool moment. So I got introduced to the world of whatever Facade says goes. So anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna try to wrap this up in about 45 minutes. Seth Rollins last night Raw. He came out. He had an announcement. It wasn't really. I mean, it wasn't the announcement we were expecting. Did we expect him to really lay down, call the title?
No way.
I wasn't expecting Gunther to be out there.
Yeah, that was a nice little swerve. So it was announced over the weekend, but actually less than 2 minutes after it was announced, Hard Way Wrestling had it. I'd just be looking at Twitter by accident. MRI showed he suffered a grade 2 MCL tear, partially torn medial meniscus, and will miss, which would cause him to miss WrestleMania 40. Although it sounds like Rollins hasn't committed to doctors' prescribed timeline as far as it goes. Are we going to see Seth Rollins at WrestleMania?
Fingers crossed. Even if he's not 100%.
Yeah, no. So Rollins is definitely, you can't use the word underrated. I just feel like, he's given a good platform right now, but I think there's still fans out there that don't understand his level of skill in and out of the ring, on the mic, character-wise, his body language going out to the ring, the way he connects with the audience, man, like he's definitely a one-of-a-kind talent. And I don't think people respect that enough and understand how hard he works, to get to where he's at and to keep himself going, like that's a lot to get in and out of there. And knowing that, a lot of people are calling that world title a secondary title. He wants to create it as a workhorse title, bring some prestige back to it. But then, with Roman and his run, it's hard to break out of that shadow too, right? You talk Roman breaking records and all this, and then Rollins, he definitely doesn't want to miss a Mania, So I know, regardless of what doctors say, that guy, if he can stand on his feet, he's probably going to try to make it to the ring.
Yeah.
Rollins reminds me, and I love Rollins. There's a lot of aspects of Rollins I love. I love when a guy reinvents himself, but I love it even more when they don't reinvent themselves, they evolve. And I think that's what Seth Rollins does. Seth Rollins doesn't go from the list to the Painmaker to like completely change. He's involved, like his from his complete attitude to his wardrobe. It's like an arc, and he just keeps moving forward into a certain direction. You're getting Seth Rollins, but you're just getting little iterations more and more. AK, you do the same thing. You're going through this slight change right now. You're still a dickhead, but you're going through this slight change right now, where you're well, people will see it. I'm not gonna give it away, but it's coming. It's coming. You're moving. You're going to be moving into a different direction, a more hardcore, I believe. AK is what I'm going to start seeing here. I believe. So
no, you're spot on.
Your manager's just fucking all over it. He wants to be just as vicious. So, anyway, Seth Rollins to me reminds me of, Gary Payton or Charles Barkley or Karl Malone. They were always in that shadow of one guy, Michael Jordan, right? It's Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and then everybody else, right? And it's just right underneath. I don't know if he'll ever get over that Roman hump.
He's
Maybe
not
when
going to.
Gone, it's going to be tough. But Seth is a machine. This guy is a worker. He has just been all over this title. It was called a secondary title from day one, and he has made it anything but. So,
which is good, and we knew he was going to do that because that was the whole point of them bringing that title back in the first place, was to have it defended every week. When Roman's only doing it once every other month now, pretty much, if that. He's back on the Brock Lesnar schedule.
All right, so AK, you and I probably, I know you and I agree on this. And a lot of people don't. I hear it all the time in the chat. I'm so sick of Roman. I'm sick of not seeing Roman. I'm sick of him being here once every 2 months, showing up on a SmackDown, but not wrestling, maybe super punching somebody and disappearing. Explain to people how in wrestling, they don't do this very often. They used to do it with Hogan. Hogan used to be an attraction. There's not a lot of guys that are attraction, and Roman is one of those guys. And do you agree that less is more?
Oh, absolutely. So think about it this way, right? Like you have programming multiple times a week. How many of these guys are you seeing every single week? And you're thinking, you're like, man, like this is a throw together match. It's a good match, but we get them every week. So it's not like, like you said, less is more, right? Like that person you're missing, you haven't seen them in a long time, and they finally show back up, and you're like, man, I'm glad they're here. And Roman doesn't get that same reception, obviously, because of his heel work. And then again, some of the ways that they've angled him, not letting him win by himself, and they really drug out a lot of that bloodline interference in some of his matches. But I think Roman was destined from the beginning for this. I've personally been a fan since his inception. I was lobbying for them to run him this way since 2012. I was like, man, this is the juggernaut of the team. Like this guy doesn't need to be in here technical wrestling. He needs to just come and just run through people and fucking once he gets on top, like you said, that Brock Lesnar schedule, well, why not? Like, why are you going to give everybody the full show every week? Make them pay that ticket. Make them get that big view for those big fight feels, Like, think about a Mayweather fight. That publicizing and the publicity, like, oh, Mayweather's doing, this interview or whatever he's doing. You want to watch it because you don't get a lot of it. And I think that's where Roman's at right now. And personally, the only thing I would tweak on the way they're running him is let him go over more on his own strength. I think they don't want to because they did that with Brock, and Brock was just getting out here squashing people. And, you don't want to run it exactly the same. But Roman has the same capability. The dude's a big guy. The dude can move. And, in a shoot fight, would you put anybody up against him? Looking at him side by side, you're like, man, this dude can really do some damage. And I think even looking at him, right, like he has the image of a Hall of Famer. Like, he got the long hair and the big physique. He has, he has like, no homo guys, but, the guy looks like go for it, and again, for me, I was able to, don't say, I know you're about to say something.
He's checking out the total package.
You could kind of see those things early in his career, and to see that he finally turned that around with the heel turn, I'm pumped for everything he's been doing, and I'm in the minority here, but I'm still rocking with Roman.
I love his work. I'm not disagreeing with you on any of that. It's just, I don't know. I think a little more on the title defense part of it would be better. I'm not saying he's got to be on there like Seth every week having it, but at least every pay-per-view, he should be on there defending that title.
It's arguable, but think about it this way too, right? Like, what about the other guys who can take those smaller pay-per-views and to use those as those platforms? We got a lot of great guys on the roster right now. You got AJ Styles back, Randy Orton's back. We got Punk is in. Got Late Night is growing on me a little bit, but I wouldn't say he's in that category yet. But you got Cody on there, so you got. Honestly, and I don't mean to like jump left field right here, but a dream booking for me, I want to see a heel Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes on some type of in-between pay-per-view, like a Backlash or something. I think that would be pretty badass. But again, Roman should be, I wouldn't say just the 4 major pay-per-views. I would at least give him a little more shine than that, but not every month.
Year. So aside from they do 12 a year pretty much. So aside from the 4, major pay-per-views and what they got 2 in Saudi every year now, which he's getting that payday. Like I think a good at least 8 out of those 12 would be better than the 4 main ones.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I wouldn't just limit it to the 4. I would definitely say like a 6 to 8 sweet spot. And I would feature him, like, again, the way they're doing him on SmackDown, like every time he's about to show up, they make it like you see an advertisement for it. If you watch Fox, they're like, oh, tonight, Roman returns. And it's like, oh, we want to watch it because he's not here all the time. And what is he going to do next? And I think what really people are looking for is to try to find that answer on who's going to be able to knock him off of that throne. And I'll tell you, it's not going to be The Rock. And it's probably not going to be this Mania either. So everybody getting their hopes up about Mania and this run ending, I think we go another year or maybe at least till SummerSlam.
He's chasing Hogan's record. He's going to get Hogan's record.
As I've said in previous shows, Hogan's record is, I believe, September 13th of this year, which would put it around SummerSlam, just after SummerSlam.
He is special. Roman is very special. The Rock was very special. Stone Cold was very special. When they want to sell tickets, they announce Roman.
Yeah.
Through the roof. When they go to Saudi, they went to a smaller venue this last time. Was Roman there? I don't even remember if Roman was at this last Saudi event. But if they want to go to a bigger place,
I think I drank too much at that day, and I can't remember myself either.
If they want to announce Roman, they'll go to a bigger venue. They will. I mean, this was the same thing when Brock was around, and he was only wrestling or defending every 2 months or every 3 months. And people were like, we never see Brock Lesnar, blah 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 blah. What happens
but
now?
Then you basically only had one title.
What's that?
You only basically had one title at that point, though. I think.
Are we watching wrestling for the title? Or are we watching for the character?
And the person that has the title is usually one of your best characters, though.
But does he need a title? Then? Does he need a title?
Not necessarily.
Does Brock need a title? When that music hits, people's fucking heads spin, including everybody who's in the ring. You have to, because this guy might run right through you to get to whatever he's going to do. The guy flipped the fucking ring over. Okay, the guy's a fucking special attraction. Anytime his music hits, I heard it 2 weeks ago. Brock Lesnar is going to be back on Monday Night Raw. Have we seen him yet?
No.
People are tuning in to see him. They just announced him the other week. Brock Lesnar be back on Monday Night. Supposed to be back on Monday Night Raw.
Probably be after Rumble.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess you'll have to find out. You have to wait.
Hold up. Another dream booking for me. He shows up to the Rumble, and him and Gunther have another, moment there. I would love to see them at Mania. I think that's a fucking blockbuster of a match too. You can easily end night one with that match right there. And God,
yeah.
so many good guys on the roster right now that you can mix and match and fucking do gold with. You really can. It's a good time to be a fan.
I love Gunther, and here's the problem I have with Gunther.
Whoa!
Hear me out. This guy is so in love with wrestling. He is so in love with what he's doing and everybody he works with. Like he loves the heels and he loves everybody. This guy could not stay in character to save his ass. The other night he's standing in the ring with Seth, and he is trying to keep his ears dry. His face is starting to break open. His smile is coming around his ears. He did the same thing. He walks up to the back to Kofi Kingston, the New Day, smiling the whole fucking time. Like he loves it. He gets in the ring with Brock. Brock is going to knock that fucking smile off his face. He is not going to put up with that bullshit. But I don't think that I do not think that'll matter. I think Gunther will smile the whole fucking time.
And honestly, if I'm the booker, man, this is where you make Gunther your next big bad. Like, this is where you make him. Like, right now, he's honestly already established himself as that. Like, with his fighting style and just like that grit and just the way they've been pushing him. But like, you put him over on a Brock Lesnar, fuck, man, that dude literally can be your big boss for your next 5 years easily.
Absolutely. And I like this little thing they had last night with Gunther and Seth. I really like that. I don't know what that
it was a nice swerve.
What that means going forward. But I mean, we'll see. More Gunther. We love Gunther.
Yep.
I'm going back and forth on how I'm pronouncing his name, but
it was the hard way men's wrestler of the year for WWE.
Yeah, he was hard way men's wrestler of the year. He absolutely was. He absolutely was.
And it was a landslide.
I know how you feel about Gunther, but how do you feel about Walter?
Oh, Jason loves Walter.
I'm gonna tell you, and I say
He's
this
a chubby chaser.
Everybody I meet, I love the fat version of whatever you were. I told Ethan Page when we went to see Ethan Page, I said, hey, I said, I love the fat Ethan Page better. And he just looked at me. I was like, yep. Love the fat Ethan Page. Love Walter. I love Dewdrop, but she kind of doesn't really fluctuate. So I don't know what it is. I like that.
That's why you keep Scotty around on here.
That's right.
Which Scotty is probably watching right now, which he won't get out of work until sometime tomorrow night.
Right. If Scotty loses a bunch of weight, he's off here. He's out. He's fucking out of here.
Yeah, I'm wondering how I even get on here.
That's for you, Ricky. You better start picking up some weight around here.
I think it's my fat cat that keeps me around.
That's right. We're only here for Mr. Puffers.
Yep.
Anyway, it'll be curious on what they do here with Seth in the next couple months. I'm sure he's going to do the rehab part of it and see if he can go without surgery. But he was wearing a knee brace last night, and no one put hands on him. So it's serious.
I was waiting for Damian Priest to come out. I was waiting on it.
Wouldn't that have been? I mean, that'd have been too obvious to have Damian Priest come and catch.
Exactly.
It'd been too obvious. So anyway, we're gonna move on. WWE is about to Netflix and chill, boys.
That's an interesting one. I still don't know how to absorb that yet. It all depends on, I guess, how they run the platform. I think they need to make some changes if that's going to be the case. You know, like, I don't know if I've ever seen a live broadcasting on Netflix, you know? So are we just getting...
Before. They've done it before. Yes, not sports or anything like that, but they have done some live broadcast. It's not a lot of them. They've done some live broadcasting stuff, though.
I was never a fan of Netflix.
It's a really good... It's a go-to, though. If you think about, like, their viewership and, like, everybody has Netflix, you know? So, and if they don't, they're probably going, you know, as far as fans. I mean, you know, like, it might...
I got Paramount Plus and I got Hulu.
Well, so I like this. Only because cable is fucking outrageous. Cable's stupid. My cable bill is $240 a month, right? And I have the sports package. Now it would only be $20 cheaper if I didn't get the sports package. But if I get the sports package, I get AEW wrestling. If I don't get the sports package, they don't have it in this area. Right. So with Raw going to Netflix, and supposedly this deal, well, it's 10 years, $5 billion. Wow. So when actually a couple years ago, I really thought Netflix was going to go by the wayside because Disney Channel came out. They got their own streaming service. What else? Paramount. Like, they all have those streaming services now. And Netflix lived off of Disney stuff and Marvel and all that stuff. So they still have some of it, but they don't have it all. And before, they were getting it. And I was wondering what was going to happen. They started going their own way by having their own TV shows or their own series or their own movies or whatever, which is awesome. But I wondered how long Netflix was going to stay around. But I believe that they've seen what the NFL has done for Amazon, and they're all over it. And wrestling, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling is huge.
It doesn't matter how much people piss and moan about it. They're going to pay for it if they want it.
Yeah.
Well, here's my question to you guys, and I know you just said wrestling's huge, but that's kind of what my first thoughts were. I'm like, man, like, Netflix is investing that much money. Like, they have that much money to spend on a product like wrestling, and to hope that I would imagine they're going to expect it to carry their brand for a while. You know, like, that's a huge investment to put into a hit or miss market. You know, like, we know wrestling viewership is up in WWE, you know, from last year. We know that there's a steadily, you know, we get this little roller coaster of viewership over, you know, a 5 to 10 year span. So it's like, man, they're investing that for the long haul, for a decade. And I'm like, man, I'm hoping that we don't just go into another rut in that in between. You know, for me, it was, and don't hate me for saying this, but it was like, I want to say like the 2010s, early 2010s is when I, you know. Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't say as far as 2017. I'd say for me personally, my brief, I wouldn't say a disconnect, but I thought I didn't enjoy the product as much, would be probably that, like, 2007 through 2012 or 2011, you know, and I just think that they were doing a redevelopment for a lot of guys who are now prospering, that you see, like, a lot of that rookie class of 2012 and 2013, those guys are now main eventers, you know. I'm talking about, like, guys like The Shield and some other folks that jumped on board. But long story short, that's my only concern when I think about it from the investor side of it, I'm like, man, like this is you're putting a lot of eggs in a basket on this one.
Well, they are getting the rights to WrestleMania. They're getting rights to pay-per-views. I guess they're going to be getting rights to SmackDown also. Now,
Yeah,
SmackDown, they're going to USA. How's that work?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
it's
not common though. We've been seeing a lot of like cross branding, like Hulu Live does WWE now too. So I didn't think that they would cross each other's markets as much as they have been doing. So I can imagine them just expanding out to the other businesses as well, which again could be prosperous because then you talk about advertisements and endorsements from each other, and that's where Netflix could really get its growth in. But it was really a shocker seeing it this morning. I'm still trying to process it, and I just, it was kind of left field. There's no whispers or anything. It's just like, oh, boom, deal is signed, and we're going to Netflix.
Well, they were looking for a streaming. They were looking for a streaming site. I didn't know. I thought they were end up on Amazon. I really thought they were going to end up on Amazon. So AEW did sign a deal with HBO and Max, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
When does that happen?
I don't know, but
I don't know the details on that either. I don't know that we're getting.
Yeah, I haven't seen much on it either.
Yeah, I haven't heard. Once they announced it, I haven't heard any more about it. What we're getting from it, if it's going to be a day behind, like Hulu is, or whatever.
Yeah,
I already paid for Netflix. I already paid for HBO Max. I don't even know. I pay for all these fucking streaming channels and cable. I'm at the end of my cable contract. So if I can get rid of cable, oh my God.
I've already done that. I've switched strictly to streaming about a year ago because I had like two things I would watch on cable, and then I found out how to stream them anyways. So, and then streaming sports online, so cable is just a hustle at this point. You're barely going to be watching programming live. Honestly, Monday Night Raw was the big attraction for me for a long time. I was like, okay, I want to watch Raw. I want to watch SmackDown, but I don't even know how many days I'm home for the programming where I'm not watching the replays. So, for me, it's just like, why not save $150 a month? And then you can get the highest grade of a router that you can get to stream on 20 different TVs in your house, So yeah,
that's what I do now. So, if I can save money, I like this. I like this because everything's going to streaming. I have Comcast or Xfinity or whatever it is. I have the Xfinity app on my phone. I watch wrestling on my way to work. I watch it on the way home just to catch up on everything, make sure I'm
while he's driving.
It is the shittiest app ever. It crashes. If someone calls you, it starts all over. You got to fast forward. It's fucking horseshit. I've watched Netflix. I've never had a problem with Netflix streaming. I've never had a problem with HBO Max streaming. So I think this is going to be a good thing.
This is
commercial free.
My thing is, man, I fucking miss the network though. I loved the WWE network, the archive. It was everything I ever dreamed of as a fan. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for my kid to get older. I have all of this in the vault, and he's gonna watch it from start to finish in chronological order. And then we lost it.
Supposedly they still have the network overseas. You can still watch it.
Yeah,
but you can't watch it here. Well, I guess you can get one.
Watch wrestling. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we just get in a kayak, buddy.
Fuck it. Banana boat.
When you go into your real home, when you going back over there anyway, you go over there, you can watch it.
Actually, I gotta be able to get clear for a passport. No, I'm joking. Fuck.
Too many felonies.
No F's on my record. No felonies.
So, I think it's a great idea. I'm curious on how we're gonna roll with this. So I'm excited. Wrestling is at a peak time right now. So,
and despite what I don't know how you guys feel personally about AEW and their little roller coaster they're going through. But again, their brand itself, just to emerge the way it did over the past few years and to create that excitement again, like I'd love when people get online and start arguing over fucking wrestling, because I'm like, man, this is what is driving your emotions right now. You are pissed right now, and good, because that means you're invested. Whether you pick the side, you're still involved in wrestling, and wrestling is alive and healthy, and that's really what excites me. I'm sorry, I fuel off of negative energy, but fuck it, it's great.
That's why we're here to
do you know
stir
how
the
many
pot.
people hate Tony Khan, but they know what he tweeted?
Yeah, right?
It's crazy. It's
Cocaine
crazy.
Khan.
People hate Donald Trump, but they know what he's doing, right? I mean, it's crazy. Who the fuck's Hook? Anyway,
Yeah.
Again, I think it's awesome that Netflix is doing this, and we'll go from there. All right, real quick, we're going to talk about a little bit of Rumble, because we are going to cover Rumble on Friday, on the show on Friday. But
Prediction show.
Yes, there will be a prediction show, and we will have. Okay, so I put out the men's Rumble on Saturday, which filled up in like 15 minutes. Awesome. I put out the women's the other day. It filled up in about 35 minutes or 45 minutes. Oh, actually, no, I'm lying. The last number went this morning when I woke up. So, so I went to bed. But here's what's going to happen. Everybody picked 1, 2, 3, whatever, all the way down to 30. That's not your number. That's not your number.
It's not my number?
That's not your number. So here's what's going to happen.
Yes. I got stuck with 24. It's like,
Yeah. And that's the kind of a sweet spot too. I had one guy pick 30. He's like, I'm fucking genius. I was like, just wait. All right. So that is your number. That is your number. But I'm going to put it all in a random number generator. And wherever that number random number generator falls, that's your spot. So if you're 1 to 30. So if your number is, if AK's number is 1 and he ends up in 20, that's his real number. 20th spot. Whoever comes in at that 20th spot, which will probably be the Repo Man or some shit like that.
Hulk Hogan.
Hey, listen, brother. Can you imagine if that I am a real man? The place will fucking go. The Pontiac Silverdome will go absolutely fucking nuts. And we won't even be there, but whatever. Anyway, so that's what's gonna happen there for the men's Rumble, the women's Rumble. I'll have that all together by Friday. We're going to do our preview show.
Honestly, hear me out. This is my surprise entrant I want to see. No chance. That's what you got. Bring Vinny Mac out. Bring Vinny Mac out. He can't. Like I said, he can't run it from behind the scenes. Let him be an active roster wrestler right now. Fuck it.
I think.
Go
ahead. Go ahead.
You know how much heat they would get if they put him back as an on-screen persona? My God. Fuck.
My God. What if we get him and Shane to run down the ring at the same time, and when one of them blows out the right quad and the other blows out the left quad, they can
it'll be like a potato sack race. tie their quad legs together.
No jump down leapfrog for that guy.
All right, so we'll talk about this more on Friday. But all right, so give me one person that would totally blow your mind if he showed up in the men's Royal Rumble. AK.
I think it's impossible for his contract, but I still think Okada showing up between Rumble and Mania would be absolutely nuts.
Marshall just said the same thing. The coin flip.
Yeah, my only problem is I don't know how the American crowd's going to receive him. I know that he got a little bit of, like, his reception in AEW was all right, but the WWE fans are not AEW fans. They don't know a lot about Japan. They don't know who the Bullet Club is. They don't know all these things. They know of the versions they see in WWE. But I'm gonna give you one that I think that nobody's gonna see coming, and I think that nobody's gonna like make him a key player in the beginning. But I think Tama Tonga has the potential of showing up at the Rumble from some things I've been hearing from some friends. And he just ended his tenure in New Japan recently, so he's made it really clear he's coming to the States. Has some issues over AEW, so I don't know if he's necessarily going there. I wouldn't slate him for Impact either. I think WWE really can have another gem if they brought him on. And again, you talk about mixing matching cards, man. You put a guy like Tama Tonga fighting, back battles with Balor and guys like that. You have months and months and months of cinematic gold right there.
Yep. I'm with you, Ricky.
I don't know. I do like your options there. I think an obvious one coming back that would make a big impact would be Brock Lesnar. I mean, you can almost expect it now. We're getting into Mania season. Whether they announce it or not, he's definitely going to be a surprise, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got one that I'm not a big fan of him, but I think it would be awesome if he just showed up. Feed me.
Oh, fuck Ryback.
Yo, Ryback shows up, bro, and picks CM Punk and drops him on the concrete. Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm logging off. It's like Ryback.
No, I'm not a big fan, but I'm looking for. We're not a big fans of Ryback, and I think he retired, didn't he, or he didn't retire? I don't know.
He's supposed to because CM Punk showed up in WWE again.
Yeah. Right? He said he would.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That's really why I popped for Punk. I was like, yes, Ryback's dead.
Yes. Just for the pop alone, I think there would be confusion and a big pop if Ryback ended up showing up. But one that really sticks out to me that we're not 100% sure what's going on yet is MJF.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking that the other night too. I'm like, they did it last time he did his hiatus where they took him off the main page and they did it like a shoot with AEW, but again, now he's not on their website. He's not featured. I think they dropped a big ball at the ending of that storyline. I just didn't like the way that whole thing ended with the devil thing. And I'm sure it's still going to recycle longer if he goes back to AEW and him and that whole, rivalry will still be there. But I think for him and him seeing all the big jumps to WWE, this is the time to strike. Like, this is where you want to jump on the boat and you want to get involved because, like I was saying earlier, the roster is starting to get stacked up. And if you're not going to be with it now, you're going to have to wait another 4 or 5 years for everybody to start retiring and getting out of your way. And then you're going to miss great opportunities to work with these guys in ring. And he needs that. Like, he's going to do great no matter what he does. But he needs to rub shoulders with some of these guys that are household names, and that would be the place to do it.
Yeah. All right. Give me a woman. Give me a woman. Then we'll get out of here.
Ooh. Oh, AJ Lee. Yeah. No, if AJ Lee comes back, the fucking building goes nuts. Like,
She's
and
been
strong
putting
possibility.
up training videos. Punk was putting up training videos. So, most likely we're going to see AJ Lee.
And Jade Cargill. Maybe she enters the Rumble and wins it.
There you go. They've given her such a huge presentation so far, and now she's gone. Right? She's been gone. She's almost an afterthought. She keeps showing up on my Instagram with her fucking abs. She's unbelievable abs. They're ridiculous. My abs go this way. Hers go like this. Hers are perfect. Anyway, Jade Cargill showing up at the Rumble. And why not let her win the Rumble and get a huge start? No Charlotte right now. Becky and Nia are in a feud with each other, and that's not going to end.
And they're going after Rhea anyway.
Yeah, Rhea's kind of in limbo. Why not let Jade Cargill just come in at the 24 spot or 25 spot and just she don't have to show anything. Just come in. Throw Molly Holly out and then just kind of hang around.
I have a dumb question though. Right now, is it EO who's still the champion for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
If you had cable, you'd know that.
Or if I kept up more with EO Shirai, my bad. I like EO, but
she won't. Yeah, I mean Jade taking that belt off of EO probably makes more sense. But man, Jade and Rhea in the ring, Jade's not stacking. I mean, Rhea's not stacking Jade. I mean, I'd pay for that photo, but it's not happening.
Now that'd be again, like you have an opportunity right now to build a mega card for 40. Like there's so many people on the roster right now that don't even get featured yet. That again, Jade is a big example. You have blockbuster after blockbuster match. You have an opportunity to create. So if they can at least play out like 4 of those, the night will be a success.
All right, let's look at the chat real quick before we get out of here. Owen says Matt Cardona. I mean, that's not ridiculous, but Cardona makes so much money on the indies. and we are. I'm curious to see how much longer he can do what he does, because indie wrestlers like Cody did an amazing job, but then it kind of ran its course, and he needed to go somewhere or needed to do something. I don't think Cody could still be doing what he's doing on the indies right now. Cardona had such a hell of a year last year with the Indie God and the Deathmatch King and all that stuff. So I don't know. And Chelsea's in the WWE. I mean, I don't.
I think about it this way too. Like, what would they do with him? They don't see him like the indie crowd sees him, like we see him, right? They just see him. It's fucking Zack Ryder.
Yep.
Like,
exactly.
He didn't make as much of a difference as Cody did when he went. When he left for a while, came back. I think Cody's big push came from the AEW run and showing and demonstrating, like, hey, I'm a main event player. But Cardona being an innovative player on the indie scene, he has to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just be another guy. It's a big difference when a guy is standing beside Jeremy Stone, and then he ends up on the main roster of the WWE, and you're like, oh fuck, he's just another guy, right? I love you, Jeremy. You know what I mean. So, anyway, Jeremy is semi-retired.
Cardona's also got Impact to fall back on. He can go claim that digital media title.
I think he's also doing stuff with MLW. Fuck you, that digital media. Terrible. What else did we say? Alexa Bliss for the women. That would be good.
That would be awesome.
Okada. Trick Williams would be a good one too to show up for the Rumble. They like to bring some
NXT guys.
But
I think with the men's roster, they've got way too many talents to be filling with NXT. Like the women, I could understand that. They almost seem like half of their entrants are guests and or NXT anyway.
Well, what last year they did. How many celebrities or guests came to the Rumble last year? Do you remember any of them?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
I don't think that there was anybody that stood out to us last year. It was no. Wasn't
Logan Paul in the Rumble?
We had Logan. Logan Paul was in.
Didn't he have that spot with
Ricochet, where they dove across the ropes and clotheslined each other? And Taker's wife was in the women's side.
Yeah, but other than that, it's not like I mean, nobody like super. What's the dude? The Hurricane didn't show up last year. He's always shows up in the Rumble, right? What's his name? The
Cobra. Santino's behind the scenes at Impact, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he would show up, So I mean, they have such a big roster, they don't need to bring. But you're going to get your Carmella Hayes. You'll probably get Braun Breaker. Will probably come up because Braun is doing some house show stuff, so he'll be up. Those kind of guys. Maybe we see Baron Corbin in a back in the big boy ring.
He'll to tie Santino's elimination time record.
I hope so. Maybe we'll get Titus Worldwide to slide through the ring, under the ring.
Booker T.
Hey,
no, I don't think Booker's gonna do it again. He said after the last one, he realized that he's not cut out for it anymore. Yeah. He wasn't happy with his performance last appearance.
Oh, there you go. Austin Bartle says Nia Jax came back last year.
Yeah, that's right. That was yeah, it was. It was, I think, Vince's final signing.
Gotcha.
Before he checked out.
He said, "Oh, I got you. I'll fuck you here. Well, bring back Nia." He's the only one on the roster that hasn't signed an NDA. So, anyway, that's going to do it here for Hard Way Wrestling. AK, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you.
Come join us anytime.
A lot of ways. I appreciate you. But go ahead and tell us where you're going to be the next couple of weeks, because you are the booking machine.
Actually, winter's a little light for me usually because all the cancellations that happen. So I try to stay local to the Virginia area. But next month, you'll see me at Voltage. I'll be at IWA in Manassas, ATCW West Virginia, TCW, Virginia. So we got Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia. If you're in any of those states, come check us out. Me and I still call him Jonathan Cross. I call him Jason on the phone, but anytime I'm looking at him, that's Jonathan Cross right there. So got AK, Jonathan Cross, tear some shit up, wreak some havoc, and win some gold. You know what? My prediction right now is by the summertime, I'm going to be AK 4 belts by the time summer comes.
Tag team gold.
You know what? We're about to write that on the goal list too. By 2025, before we hit 2025, we gotta get a strap on you too.
I tell you what, I like the strap on, so I mean I'll take it. If you got one, I'll absolutely take it. So,
Don't you have a belt, Jason?
I do. And I will be unveiling the new my Chucky Mansion is my best friend belt at the next ATCW. So that's all. Yeah, I'm a belt maker too, AK. I don't know if you knew that or not. So
yeah. I saw some of your work. You know, that cardboard in the back.
It's paper. I don't have to play for cardboard. If you turn it on the other side, it's actually coupons for CVS. So, anyway, double duty, dual belt. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you. We will see you on Friday. We're gonna do. We got Rumble, big Rumble. We're gonna call. Or what we're gonna do most on Friday. We will have another episode of Whoop-Pow! So make sure you guys check that out. When I put that up for our shorts, we get fucking crushed. Crushed. People like seeing people die.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, again,
I'm still waiting for the Jonathan Cross edition. Whoop-Pow!
I have to build. I have to build up. Right. I have to build up.
There you have it all in the hopper.
I have two right now. I'm waiting on the Grim one. I do got one from the other night where I got that idiot Machiavelli put his smelly hands on me. He got a piece of soap at the end of the night too.
Did you give me
should have made him eat it.
I should have made him. That would have been great. I put my glasses and scarf on him. Then I told him you're not worth it, not worthy enough to wear it, and I poured it off for him. So, Matt, yeah. That video will be up soon enough. AK sent me his. Is it your wife took that video?
Yeah.
I got that footage, so it's fun. It's fun. I can't wait to see. Both these does a really good job with videography and that kind of amazing job of videography. So,
production team there is great. Definitely good.
I look 20 pounds thinner when I look at their videos. So. Anyway, I like their videos better. Anyway, I'm rambling. Anyway, boys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.